Hey everybody, so yeah, we're moving the scene stuff out of the Three.js service and into the newly created scene service. When I was driving into work this morning, I was just like, I have literally never experienced where, like, I kind of ignore these spec files, but like one, two, three, four, five, six, and seven sort of things in a single directory and where there was just no obvious separation. And it's just like a brand new. Typically, whenever I get to like four or five, sort of an obvious way to obvious natural separation starts to present itself, and and this time it just hasn't. It was just like, well, animations could kind of be separate, but then it's by itself and light service. And it dawned on me the reason is because I actually mix two concepts in these services. So like in the mesh service, I have like the three box geometries and materials and stuff like that. And then I also have my own interfaces. And really, those should have been separated in the beginning because three is just one of the third-party applica- or APIs that I intend to use. So I probably should have had like the showtime um, directory with specific things that are just of my interfaces that I use for this application, and then I should add like the three directory, and then this three service should probably be manager service, and it's managing the different things. So then whenever I bring, and then the animation service should probably be maybe at this level or maybe in its own directory, but it really didn't belong in either. Or I guess animation service. Yeah, see, animation service is one of the ones that kind of uses both pieces, and I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. And it's kind of nice because we can just, yeah. See, I have my interfaces, light interfaces, it supported lights, mesh interface. Okay, so those are mine, and then is everything literally mine? It kind of seems like everything's mine, but I believe inside this animation, these actually have, like this has this three clock. It has three specific things, but it also has, and animations kind of needs to have both, but then it's also probably going to need to have physics stuff in it too in the future, and it's going to need to have probably access to the music stuff. So it does make sense that the animation service kind of sits above with the manager because it's kind of like managing things, and then like the mesh service probably should be split out from the three specific things to the and then this application specific things. So I think that makes sense, and probably not. I don't want to do that at this point. At this point, I want to stay focused on the scene, but if you imagine though, like if I were to do that, then we would have our utils directory, we'd have our three directory, and we'd have our showtime directory, and then we'd have the manager sitting at the top and the animation sitting at the top, and that would be a little bit more organized because it kind of goes back into like ancient texts for human beings where they say, hey, when you start to hit seven items, you really need to start dividing things up. Like if you have seven employees, then you need to start thinking about having another manager and dividing up. And you don't ever really want to get to like 13. Because that's like the end, and it's just probably just the way our brains are functioning that's what we can easily sort of divide up in our head. Um, so, anyways, that is definitely on the horizon to divide things up a little bit more carefully that way. But for now, what I want to do is, and this is a pretty cool, it's just two meshes, a ground mesh and like a sphere, and then a light, a point light, and they're animated to move from here over, and you can see the light on the bottom going away, and that's pretty neat. Been pretty happy with the things that I can do. But what I typically do in these situations is I move the very specific. I go start at the top, and I find uh, the it, it bugs me so much that I have these things still up in here, and I really do need to delete them. And I think I'm just going to delete the unused ones now. I've never been led wrong to delete things that English says, hey, you're not using that, so why don't you get rid of it? So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go ahead and get rid of this supported cameras. And then see if there's anything up in here. It doesn't look like there's anything in there that needs to be deleted. Yeah, so anyway, so what I want to do, and I could save that without losing the animation. What I want to do is move, I guess, scenes and scene items and scene item out of here and move it into the scene. It's probably, this will break everything, which makes sense. And then we lost our animation, sad face. I can't wait till I get import from 3. So, and yeah, now I'm like, it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies because it's like, I shouldn't have this scene interface in there with it, and that's just like an idea that entered into my head yesterday. Looks like I need to pull in the whole 3 library like this. And then let's get our scene interface. And then that still makes sense. And then scene items. Okay, so now let's see how many things are broken over here. Here's where we can really use this dot scene service. Let's see what else we get. And but yeah, like if I was starting a brand new application today, knowing what I know now, I would definitely have never created this ThreeJS service. But it totally made sense. If you go back and look at the old videos, it totally made sense at the time. But as we've scaled up, things that make sense at smaller scales don't make sense at larger scales, and vice versa. Things that make sense at large scales often don't make sense at small scales. And just getting that balance right is can be tricky. And there's a lot more references to this than I thought there was. Scene service. It is really as I get farther and farther in, the scale of fixes I'm constantly underestimating the scale of fixes. but that's because um, the like since everything else has already been separated out, and we've added all kinds of new features. Um, this the sort of the impact, the size of the impact has grown, um, and that's why like I still could like right now it's like if I was I don't know what kind of product I want to build, you know. Sometimes I like to imagine like building some sort of music thing where you have like this little ragdoll kind of guy dancing around and with like things growing around it. Just all kinds of different things that I can imagine would be really cool to build in 3D and like once I come up with whatever product I do want to build, um, what minimum viable product, um, it's going to be like um, it may make total sense with the lessons learned to start from scratch again. So I don't know, but let's go ahead and add our mesh. Take that, turn that to a sphere, make it like let's position down like 4 and then -4 and then give it a bigger radius 4 and then like -8 and then 8 and negative. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then let's go ahead and make it green, like a green earth type of thing. And then make it a Fong. Let's go ahead and add a light. And I don't know. I think the light must be, let's make it up. Yeah, there we go. That is really cool. 2. Let's see, 3. Yeah, that's neat. And then maybe go to the scene since that is what I messed with. And it's RGB. So red, green, yeah, like a blue background. And that is neato. Let's see, make the Z maybe negative. No. It'd be kind of cool if I could do that. Like just push the button 12. Make my sphere a little bigger. Radius of 12. Push it down a little bit more. 14. But anyways, I guess it'd be kind of cool to add a little sunlight. Oh yeah, that is so cool. I don't know the way that shadow is and everything. What happens if I turn that to a Fong? And then if I made its color like yellow, can't even see it. I wonder. I guess because of the light. What if I move the light closer to us? It's kind of wild because you can't even see the color of it. But anyways, it's fun to play with. Yeah, so I moved this stuff over. I've got more stuff to move over. It's probably easiest to find out. Let's see. Just find everywhere we're using the scene service. It's probably going to be the easiest way to root out what needs to go over. Let's see, what is this? Yeah, set up scene. Yeah, this one probably should just go over there. That doesn't seem like there's any reason for any of this to be over here. Update scene. This some of these, like this line of code definitely needs to stay up here. Um, and I guess, yeah, so then that probably needs to go like that. And then animation services needs to stay over here. But anyways, yeah, just basically like we did, we've done everything else. Just things just need to get moved over into the services world. And then my phone is ringing. Um, and then as soon as that's done, I can go on to adding this fog to the as a feature in scenes. I don't know if fog has an intensity or not, but you know, at the very least, we'll probably like animated. We'll have a checkbox, um, or maybe it's like a 0 to 100 type of thing or something. But I have a feeling that's gonna be really cool. And as soon as that's done, then then basically scenes. Uh, these scenes need to get an ID, a Showtime ID, and then that will be it. And then I don't know. I don't know. It seems like I've been doing rounds, like basically based on the tabs, but it does kind of seem like I need to do like a like where I want to rename this thing to manager, and then split out like scenes, the um, the stuff that's the specific to a the things that are specific to ThreeJS. And I actually haven't thought that all the way through yet, because I don't know. So like this is a ThreeJS specific piece, but then this is a um, Showtime thing, and then this is a Showtime thing. And I would like those to be separate. Um, and it really is important to separate it out at this point, because honestly, if we had another moving part, you know, then like the difficulty of separating that stuff out is going to be so much harder. Um, yeah, I think, yeah, I think really it's either now or never. After this finishing the scene, it is now or never. And if it's never, I don't think that this will scale to add the other pieces of the puzzle that I would like to be able to add into this. So yeah, it looks like we're in for a massive, what's probably going to be an extremely difficult refactor to kind of put this, kind of set this thing up for success. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.